Seth is okay.
Okay, yeah, and I need context on
There
what.
really wasn't any context to that. It was Chris was implying what his day looks like, and then he said that he thought it was weird that that we were applying certain concepts to him rather than the programmers. And then he said that.
Okay.
Okay. So, this
Can I publish it?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Oh shit! Right.
This has the same energy as beating someone's ass and then, like, just awkwardly walking up to them and while they're bleeding on the floor going, so do you mind if I publish this to World Star?
Yeah, it's just, you with your phone, I'm like, World Star?
So, last session ended with you guys agreeing to basically help Tristan out with his plotted coup. And he gave you some information on the Iron Legion and information on the raid that's going to happen in the flotilla in less than 2 weeks. Now, you have less than 2 weeks with which to make preparations and do things for the raid on the flotilla. But in the short term, you guys, the propaganda skywrite is still going off above you guys.
The positive one?
Mm-hmm, the positive one. It's kind of just been deployed in front of the other one, which is also still going on.
Ooh, yeah, that,
It's very loud in the city right now. So, Charlie is the first one to notice, however, that there is just a floating mannequin head nearby you guys. Charlie, do you alert the rest of the party, or do you wait?
Does Powers tell me about it?
See, Powers reveals that it's a very complicated ability. It appears to be part of a larger whole. Now that you see the energy signature, you notice these things are all over around town. It's like a magic eye painting. You didn't realize that these things are basically everywhere until you looked at it just now. And as you look at it, you notice more are teleporting in around you guys.
Okay. Do they seem to be paying attention to us?
They are active. They are looking at you guys or floating around. At this point, the rest of the party notices the mannequin heads flocking in.
Yeah, I will absolutely notice them as soon as I realized they had their attention on us.
Charlie, what are those?
Good question. I'm not sure.
Deputy Cyborg chimes in. All right, guys, stow your weapons. This is Deputy Mannequin. They're going to be here soon. That means we have fucked up worse than we thought we did. Because at that point, one of the mannequins flashes with like a red unearthly light, and you guys see a deputy step out of it. One you guys haven't met before. They nod at you guys.
How many of these guys are there?
4.
Yeah.
This is the last one.
Okay. Fair.
I'm gonna wave at them.
They're gonna do that like cop nod where they're like, you're not being too friendly, but they're like not being aggressive. They're gonna walk up to Deputy Cyborg and go, so there's video footage going on above us of you conducting an unwarranted stop and seizure. This violates the terms of your parole. Hand over your badge.
Oof.
And Deputy Cyborg looks like he's about to argue, looks at the fucking evidence of him being involved in the stop right above him, and hands over his deputy badge. He is no longer a deputy.
Okay.
Oh shit. So, out of character, what do we think we should do about this? Should we try to convince the mannequin to not do that?
Where have you been, Deputy Cyborg?
Cyborg or mannequin?
Or a mannequin, sorry.
Apparently, I've been the only one here still doing their deputy duties. Crime's still happening here, Damien, he says, looking at Cyborg. I haven't seen you filing paperwork. And Cyborg just goes, well, it got complicated.
Avery will sheepishly ask, excuse me, sir, where are you finding this paperwork to? I wasn't...
The proxy mayor's office set up at the wharf. Were you guys not... None of you were aware?
Honestly, no. We were kind of away while that was probably getting set up because we were getting the water filter.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. He goes over to Corey and serves him a warrant. Your court date is in 3 weeks. You didn't do the proper... For hiring extrajudicial mercenary forces to do things on behalf of the town without going through the proper channels first. Corey's just gonna go, okay. And then he's going to go over to Carronade. And... Alright, you're Mr. Carronade, correct?
Yep.
Alright, so I have a ticket here of unlawful impersonation of a government official. The Port Authority frowns upon your shenanigans, sir.
Wait, this place actually has a port authority? I thought you guys sucked at security.
I mean,
Look, sir, I
kinda
know
suck
being
at
served a
your job at
ticket
overall.
is an upsetting experience, but this
No,
is your
I'm
first...
I'm always joking.
Retroactive Port Authority.
Yeah, you know what? If there's a port authority, good on you. But maybe they should step up their game.
There is now a Port Authority. There has always been a Port Authority. These two things are simultaneously true.
So, Deputy Mannequin just immediately clicks over to, like, the dead-eyed customer service glare where someone's being difficult and just goes, if you'd like to fight your ticket, please see Belinda at the Wharf Mayor's office. She is the paralegal handling these claims at the moment. Have a nice day.
So, like...
Your fine
where
is
do I
200,000 pieces of 8.
So where do I pay it?
The temporary mayor's office, just north of Wheezy's Wharf. You're going to ask for a paralegal named Belinda. She's the one handling these tickets at this moment, sir.
Cool, thanks.
Cool.
I'm terribly sorry. I didn't know that we were so... that this area had
She
such
hands a
developed-
ticket to Avery.
Avery will read his ticket.
Trespassing. You teleported on private property.
All right, you know what? That's perfectly fair. I do have to ask though. We both weren't in the area, and you just implied that we were a mercenary force. Is there anything that we need to do to legitimize ourselves, or anything we can do to learn more about how the governmental system of this region actually works?
Of course. So you're going to meet up with Galinda, who is also at the temporary mayor's office. She's the one who handles certification and authorizations. Now, since our mayor's office is down, I do want to inform you guys, of course, we accept accreditations from many external services. Verbal Kink is accepted. The law office's accreditation is, of course, accepted. Old Guard, mall certifications are accepted. Work experience visas are accepted as well. If you've done work with stalker groups in the past, they offer up their tokens of certification. Those are also accepted. It is really just to cut down on the random yahoos causing massive property destruction and chaos. He says, slowly turning his eyes to look at Deputy Cyborg.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys just have 26 paralegals named Linda, and their name, and you just decided to append a letter of the alphabet to their first name?
No, sir. None of them are named Linda. There's Belinda, Delinda, Galinda, Valinda, Galinda, Jalinda, Lalinda, Melinda. He stops to take a sip of water.
I look at
Zelinda.
Karen.
Yolinda.
I look at
So the answer to
Karen.
my question is yes. Okay.
Is their last name McCrungus?
Just
No, he works the wharfs, sir.
Wait, no, out of character. This is very important. Is Bungus McCrungus Port Authority?
You'll have to find out.
Oh shit!
Okay, bureaucracy aside.
Now, since Avery was polite, Mannequin's gonna go, now, since this is your first offense, what you're gonna do is you're gonna ask for a probationary period. That way, if you don't commit any infractions within a 3-month period, they just drop the ticket. It won't even show up on your record.
Thank you, sir.
No worries. Now, is the bureaucracy aside?
Oh no, I was just gonna start talking about the Iron Legion raid we need to plan for to stop.
All right.
Yeah, what is the deputy? What are you going to do about? What is the mayor's office position on the raid currently?
Wait, hey, hold
What
up,
raid?
hold up. That's not public knowledge, guys.
Yeah, what raid?
There's a raid. We should be made aware.
There is no raid in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, can we roll that back? Because that's not public.
I thought that was public knowledge.
No.
my bad.
No, that was set in character.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Okay, but that was set in character because of
It's fine. No, I already said it. It's fine.
misunderstanding.
I already said it. I already said it.
a whole lot thickens.
The thick plottins.
When you say
I-
Ba Sing Se, she goes, wait, you're talking about the rice fields? Or he, sorry.
There's
Wait, hold
no
on, is there
raid
really a place
going.
called Ba Sing Se?
There's no raids going on in Ba Sing Se.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold on, no. You guys don't have Avatar here?
No, listen, Bob. It's very simple. They're a cop. The second they hear an Asian-sounding name, they're racist.
Ooh.
Okay, that was out of character.
Was that in character or out of
That was in
character?
character, right?
I was talking to Bob, so it was out of character.
Okay.
It's like, oh shit, Ba Sing Se is a real place. It's a fictional city
Okay,
in a
so-
series I watch.
Vigorous speech.
So, stepping out of character, just so that's very clear.
Thank you.
Since he thinks rice fields, we can tell them, maybe the rumors that. Is it a he or she?
It's androgynous. Like, they're androgynous, but, like,
Okay.
you think it's a he.
You've used both pronouns, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swap with them for a reason that you might find out, you might not. It's been correct in the past when I've said it.
Yeah.
Just, it's
Okay,
hard
just-
when they're actually on the scene.
Yeah, so since she said I'm blanking, the rice fields, and we have a plan about having the Iron Legion and the I'm sorry,
The
I'm
Hive?
super blanking, and the Hive having beef and fighting each other. We could spin it to be that raid.
You want? I can play out of character. I can play stupid and be like, "Oh yeah, you haven't heard that both these territories plan on raiding the rice fields?"
No, the rice fields are already. They have property from. They're property of Hive, if I understand correctly.
They're a satellite settlement. It's
So yeah, we can just tell them that we're talking about. Well, the lies we've been spreading, like the beef between those two that we're fabricating.
I
Okay.
will say, Mr. President is smart enough to think of that on the fly. If you want other
Yeah.
players to know what you're thinking, you're going to have to find a way to communicate that in character.
Mr. President is the
Yeah.
main one talking. It's like, oh wait, you haven't heard, Deputy?
Please, sir, go on.
That was out of character.
There's beef between the Hive and the Iron Legion, and I think I'm pretty sure that's what we've heard the first target is.
So I'm going to need you to walk that back. What is the Iron Legion?
Man, what is your intel?
They're a raiding gang in the south.
Roll that back. What do you mean? What is the Iron Legion?
We
do you
haven't
pay
heard that
attention?
name before.
Do you not pay attention to the outside of the city limits and like our external threats?
Hancock, and then this is Bill talking to you. Hancock, the bog gangs are not very well known. It's a relatively insular area. They don't leave that often. I wouldn't really expect them to know, to be perfectly honest. Iron Legion isn't even that big in the bog.
So they're a southern gang. They're like the Caymans or like the Ripperoots.
Would Bill be able to have a point of comparison for one of
So
the bigger
the
groups?
Ripperoots are, think like the Scar Collectors from Wasteland 3. They basically look like Deputy Cyborg almost. The Caymans are a lot like you, except they're crazy cannibals. Like the Caymans are like weathered survivalists who drink
could've
deep of
just-
the bog.
Like if Bill, like they are exactly like Bill if Bill was actually okay with eating people.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
You still haven't sold me on that.
What, on
Sorry,
eating
what?
people?
That Bill's not okay with eating people.
Well, I mean,
I saw him swallow a person
I
whole. I
has to
watched him
disintegrate.
kill. I watched him kill Amber.
Yeah, there was no eating in that. That had disintegrate on it.
You
Yeah,
watched
right.
them unmake Amber.
Oh yeah, unmake. With
I mean,
their
this
jaw.
specific storyline of how he got to be the way he is hasn't come up yet. It's not important right now. Bill will kind of think about that for a moment and say, I guess they're probably most similar to the Rippers. They
Ripperoots.
They don't. Ripper roots. They don't necessarily keep. They aren't really a slaver group. They do something that it's kind of splitting hairs with them. You might as well consider that they are. They are a collection of talents, usually themed around metal.
You see, Debbie Mannequin is taking notes on this, and you said they're planning a raid on Bussing Sea, the rice field to the west of here.
They have general beef with,
That's what we've heard was the first target. Yes.
yeah.
I'm gonna need you to
General
roll
beef.
lie, Chris.
Sam, do I really need to roll?
Yes, and you need to tell me if you're using Hypercharm or not.
I'll use Harbinger.
Okay.
I'll roll my
Chris,
dice
no.
still. I'm gonna still roll my dice because I want that will.
Chris, no.
Go for it.
Listen, I want him to think it. I mean, it's part of selling it, right? He's a government official. He wouldn't lie.
Don't. But the hypercharm, Chris. Don't do it.
Well, I already did it, so I can't take it back, Father. That would be okay. That would be 8 10s chained to 5 10s.
You're gonna see Deputy Mannequin finish writing their notes. Point to Deputy Cyborg. Deputy Cyborg, have they used their hypercharm on other officers in the past? And Deputy Cyborg's gonna go, nope, this is absolutely the first time I'm seeing it, I swear to you.
Just curious. Does that trigger the lie detector?
It's the first time Mr. President has used hypercharm on an official as far as Cyborg has seen.
Yeah, it's true. 'Cause this is the first time I'm like really meeting Cyborg anyway.
Deputy Mannequin's gonna look very upset by that. Hand you a probationary ticket. Please present this in the future.
What's the election, by the way, Deputy?
When the mayor's office is repaired.
Bill sighs and says, "Yeah, I'm not entirely certain if they're going to attack the rice fields. There's been some."
I want to clarify in character. Mannequin believes Mr. President. They just know hypercharm was used and that's illegal.
Oh,
You can't do that. That's illegal.
okay. Well, but
Wait,
Bill will
that's
say, "Yeah, we know about that, but there's been some rumor about them wanting to attack the hive."
There's literally one deputy. Like, out of character, there's one deputy. I'm gonna ask Deputy Mannequin. Deputy Mannequin, how many deputies are left?
Technically speaking, there are 3 now.
And is
no,
there a
technically,
sheriff?
who's working? Like, Bear Spray isn't a deputy anymore.
He is. He still has the badge.
That doesn't mean he's actually a deputy. I mean, he has the official thing, but is he actually working?
Sir, I'm just
I'm
here
just
to issue
asking.
tickets.
I understand that. I'm just asking, how do we join? It seems like you need additional help. You're one guy running, defending the entire city.
Speak to Nalinda down at the temporary mayor's office. She deals with accreditation for...
Why do you have so many paralegals and so few officers? That makes no sense to me.
It has a very high... Sir, it's a profession with a very high turnover rate. Look, I don't need to
Turnover
explain...
rate? You're one person.
No, the paralegals have high.
Oh, the paralegals.
No, they meant both.
I mean, I actually don't agree with them.
I don't agree with the paralegal thing because they were able to Pokemon collect everyone with a Linda. So you can't lie to me that that's a high turnover rate. They're very choosy on that, clearly.
Look, sir, at that point you hear a small chiming. You see Deputy Mannequin look at their pocket watch, go, oh, thank God. You see them immediately snap their pencil, throw their notebook into the ocean, and just immediately go, all right, so my shift's over. Have a good night, everyone.
Who covers the rest of the town while you're asleep?
That's not my problem right now.
Look, that's going to be my problem in 63 hours. Until then, I am...
What?
It's her weekend.
Okay.
Until then, I'm going to go see if I can pick up Quartz, who is a talent down at the little bar over there. I'm going to invite him to the brothel, and I'm going to see where that leads. Until then, have a wonderful night.
I recommend that.
What?
Wait,
I wouldn't recommend that. That seems like...
no. Why not? Quartz is great.
Avery's going to clap a hand over Mr. President's mouth and just start dragging him away.
Well, I would like to see you try. I would like to see Avery try. Go ahead, roll.
Well, fuck, what do I got to roll for that?
Brawling.
Go ahead. Roll.
Opposed brawlings from both of you. Or you could use your command.
I was gonna. I'm like, what? I'm just gonna say, what are you doing? As you try to put your hand over my mouth.
While that's going on, I'm gonna to the side to them. I'm like, I've worked with Quartz in the past. He's great. Best for both of you. Have fun.
Any tips?
Honestly, I haven't worked with him in that way. So keep to his schedule is the big thing. He really likes it.
Absolutely. We're in agreement on that. You see one of the little mannequin heads flash red, and
Right.
Quartz steps through the portal. All right, so roll your command. What's your width on the command? And then I'm going to need a stability save from Avery.
Oh, it's changed, so
my
he needs
brawling?
2 stability saves.
I didn't know he was using command. That's going to go off before any brawling you can possibly make, so just swap it
7?
to a stability check.
7 10s, plus 2 10s.
I mean, he just can't, right?
I like in character this makes sense too. Avery goes to put his hand around my mouth and I'm like, what are you doing? Just
Avery, how do you roleplay defeat?
Avery, so what, is Avery just completely holding still? What is your intent with this hyper command?
oh, I'm just asking you what
Shame.
you're doing. Shame. Just shame. Because I think you have the multiple actions, a specific type of command.
Okay, Avery, you were insulting an officer,
I was not. I was trying to get information, what the
You
fuck
said
is going on?
don't take them, don't go hang out with Quartz. You said that. And while this is happening, Chivalry will also make a move to grab Mr. President and drag him away because Avery failed to do that.
Does Avery panic now that Quartz is here?
Avery probably hasn't noticed because he's been hyper commanded.
Oh, right.
So
Shame.
Chivalry will now make move to do the same thing.
Alright, I'll roll again.
So Sam has said in the past that because chivalry doesn't have a command, this doesn't actually work on him.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah, chivalry cannot be hyper-commanded.
Or hyper-charmed.
Alright, can I use command to just make the save?
Yeah, you can... well, if he's being physical with you, then no.
Yeah, chivalry's going to try to cover your mouth and drag you away.
I will bite.
Alright,
Hey,
so...
can I publish that quote, Chris?
Which it's Inda's. You didn't need the L.
Oh, sorry.
Now, since Mr. President's occupied, the hyper command is lessening. Avery now notices Quartz is on the field.
Whew.
Sweet Tooth also notices that he is there. Mannequin has just teleported
Sweet
him
Tooth
here.
is not present.
Oh, he's not? Oh, yeah, he's still at the...
Yeah.
Thought he was there. My bad.
Nope, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just John Hannibal Hancock.
How does Avery?
Not him.
So wait, how far away is Quartz from me?
About 10 feet. He hasn't noticed you yet.
Hey, just gonna say, just a reminder, you did have an agreement with him to never speak again, so probably should just leave.
Yeah, Avery's just going to turn to walk away.
All right.
Actually, wait. If we agreed to never talk again and Avery can't lie, that means I literally can never talk or interact with Quartz again as Avery. Huh.
As you go to leave, and you're leaving, a rose quartz, like a rose made of quartz, manifests pinned to your shirt. Gain 1 willpower.
Do I do it?
Also, Chivalry got 3 10s.
Yeah. I think Mr. President can technically beat that roll.
Does chivalry...
I'm just trying to decide whether I blow chivalry apart or not. That's kind of my decision.
I think it's funnier if you just get dragged away by the puppet, honestly.
And the only reason I'm doing this is because you started telling off an officer of the law for who they were spending their off-duty time with.
My only interactions with Quartz haven't been great, so... With John Hannibal Hancock. Or Jack Hannibal Hancock. Wait, it's John Hannibal Hancock.
So I'm gonna like smile, wave at Quartz, like say a quick goodbye to like smiley goodbye to what's their name?
Deputy Mannequin?
Yeah. And then leave it at that. Just make it seem like it was a
I only got 2
interaction.
weeks.
Alright.
Alright, so when Chivalry goes to drag you away, the way he accomplishes that, it's really rather odd visually. He jumps up onto your shoulders, gets your neck in a leg lock, like a really horrible scissor lock, and you fall over and he starts dragging you.
Alright. Hey, Derek.
I'm really
Yes.
thinking
How
about
does
this.
Captain Dumont react to this, who has been on the scene for about an hour now?
Excellent. Fantastic. Really? That's how you're introducing me? Okay. I was pretty invested in the whole crashing airship surfing thing, but alright.
No. Hold on. Just play it out. Just play it out.
Alright.
Play it out.
So Captain Dumont, adventure hero, who has been on this scene for all this time, will move to intervene in this conflict and say, "Friends, comrades, now is not the time to fight amongst ourselves. Now is the time for camaraderie and working together in adventure.
I'm gonna
Calm yourselves. We have plans to make."
Hey, Captain Dumont.
Hello, Charlie. It's wonderful to see you again.
What?
Hey, that takes a lie detector, right?
Derek doesn't ping the lie detector.
Absolutely not.
Have we seen each other before?
He is immediately invested
thing's the lie
in this
detector.
guy and his
Captain
bombast.
Dumont is
And
not lying.
He believes it.
Okay.
Chivalry is immediately invested in the bombast and energy of this man, and he lets go of Mr. President.
Alright. What's your
Let's
open?
like stop and think about it for a second.
I will put the obsidian knife away then.
I really don't think you would have been able to get a hit onto Chivalry.
Listen, you know one thing about me as a human. I will burn willpower to get what I want.
Especially when he doesn't need to.
Especially when he doesn't.
It's a character scene with another character.
All right.
It just confuses me that Mr. President would be acting more Florida man than G-Slice did.
Why are you acting Florida man? No. He was getting information on the police officers that we didn't even know existed
No, I
anymore.
mean that he would immediately move to stab.
You put me in a chokehold, technically. That's how you described it. Around my neck.
He's got a point.
You know what?
Why
Fair.
wouldn't I go to cut your fucking leg off as a teddy bear?
All right. So do you guys deal with like the weird man who apparently knows Charlie and has? You guys realize you have been aware that he's been here. It just hasn't started yet.
Is he just sitting there the whole time breathing?
No, he's no. It's like imagine like when the negotiations are happening. It's like Too Many Cooks, where Captain Dumont is in the background, and he's been slowly working his way towards the foreground until he's now a main cast member. Every time the camera cuts.
All right, Derek. When Dumont rolls up, makes his appearance known. Apparently, I'm gonna have Bayou Bill focus on him. Tell me what information you'd like to about his what was going on with him.
All right, so what you see is a somewhat rakish-appearing gentleman with a very Victorian-era handlebar mustache and clean trimmed goatee, with a boonie hat and a monocle, wearing a very visible clockwork firearm on his hip, dressed in sort of like the stereotypical deepest Africa adventurer sort of getup.
Okay.
And he is at once completely familiar and completely bizarre looking. You've never met this man before in your life.
Based on the way he's acting, I'm imagining that, like, biologically, Bill doesn't really hear a heartbeat. He just hears a really triumphant horn in the time of a heartbeat.
He hears the opening theme song to whatever the show is.
Yes. What would be the theme song to this campaign?
In the woods, in the mountains. It's a good place to begin.
Song, probably not.
No,
I feel like it would just be the 24 hours Windows startup noise.
Yeah, that's about the energy.
I don't even know what what that means.
Oh, I'll pull up the YouTube video for you.
No, I think I know what the YouTube video is. I just don't know what you're implying there.
Good, you get it.
Okay. So Bill will just kind of shrug and gesture to Mr. Dumont to join us.
All right. Well, Captain Dumont will join your circle of
Insight
adventure.
check.
Captain Dumont, do you feel this is the point in the episode where introductions are in order, because there are people here who don't know you.
Not yet. Well, I will in my most bombastic and friendly voice inform them that I am Captain Dumont, here to assist you in your time of need, for I have heard that there are great deeds to be done and great evils to be vanquished in the darkest depths of the deserts.
Oh, deserts. You might be in the wrong place for deserts. There's not much sand here. It's just water.
As Charlie is saying that,
jump up and bow and say his full name. And I am Chivalry, the knight errant of the Hibernian court of Sealy, the first lance of Lilliput, Coos Smullen, smallest man of man, and the pan-Celtic wonder puppet.
Ah, I have heard of your adventures many times before, and it will be a great pleasure to serve alongside you in these coming days.
so
Avery looks like he wants to cry because he's going to be really ashamed of all the storyline he wrote for Chivalry, and Chivalry just fucking loves it.
Did we just get a second chivalry?
as Captain Dumont mentioned,
to embarrass Avery.
as Captain Dumont mentions the airship, you guys notice a grand construction of an airship drift out from behind a building nearby and then gently crash into another building nearby before coming to the ground as alarms begin to blare. You see Deputy Mannequin look at their clock and go, oh, thank God I'm off the clock.
Hey, why aren't you two having fun? Go. You're on the schedule.
Oh, it's because Quartz overscheduled this by 5 minutes. It's like, Quartz is like, no, the waiting period's very important. We got to see the airship crash. Now we leave. Deputy Mannequin looks like they're just starstruck as they head out.
Young love.
They're perfect for each other.
Hey, good for Quartz.
Do you guys want to make an empathy check on that real fast?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone can make it if they want. Free rolls.
Okay.
Hey, so my minimum is a width of 4.
Cool. I want to see what everyone else gets out of this, though.
I didn't get any matches.
What? How do I roll empathy? What would that
So that'll be sense, the stat, plus
You're gonna
your
roll
empathy skill dice, which is a sense skill.
Great. Well, I will be rolling 10 dice for that then, yes.
Cool.
Dice.
Using your hyper-developed sense skills, you picked up on the Great Plains from the Bush engineers.
Is width or height better here?
Either or.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 4 10s then.
Okay.
Avery gets
I got-
2 8s.
I got 3 7s.
All right.
Bill gets no matches.
So, Bayou Bill, you're just confounded as to why Deputy Mannequin is standing so close to Quartz. It's really weird. Like, he has to know more about personal space than that. Everyone else, apparently, what you learn is that Quartz has no idea. Like, the idea, like, Mannequin very obviously interested. Quartz complete, like, it's just going straight through him. It doesn't even register. He has no idea.
So now we need to know
No,
what Quartz is.
Sam in real life.
Does Quartz not fuck and not know what sex is, or does he fuck and still not know what sex is?
Oh, that depends on whether or not it's on the schedule.
So, technically, this president was right. To the obliviousness of Quartz.
Okay. They leave the scene because it seems like you guys have everything in order.
Hey, is it spoilers if I tell Jay and mostly Jay what's going on? Because I feel like they'd appreciate that.
You can absolutely tell them. That's totally fine. Okay, so...
Yeah, start a tabloid through the crack.
Is anyone else
Actually-
going to introduce themselves to this
Avery will,
dramatic figure?
Avery will, because Chivalry did it, Avery feels the need to. He'll, hello there, my name is Avery. The puppet there is my friend Chivalry.
Yes, I've heard much about Chivalry's boon companion and sidekick Avery. I will look forward to seeing your adventures in the time to come.
Hey, Tom, roll stability.
More on that?
Tom, roll stability.
Oh fuck, that's even funnier. Okay,
This is why you get hyperstability.
I didn't get any matches. However, I did roll a 6 and a 9.
You have failed the minor trauma check. Lose 2 willpower.
Okay. Avery will... Then Bill will walk up, hold out his hand to shake Captain Dumont's hand.
Captain Dumont will grip it with gusto and give it a good, hearty, solid shake.
Hello there. People here call me Bayou Bill. My name is William Beauregard Sherman.
Well, Mr. Sherman, it is an immense pleasure to meet you. I can see that you will be of great use in vanquishing the villains we are no doubt doomed to face.
every time a character is happier with Captain Dumont, Avery looks more embarrassed because he knows how much Chivalry can use his own backstory against Avery. But Bayou and Chivalry love this guy.
This
I
guy's
love that
pretty
you included
fucking
an
great.
exclamation point in his name.
That's how it's spelled, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has an exclamation point in spelling, right? John Hannibal Hancock will
Oh, you know what? It
brush
does.
himself off real quick and then go and shake Captain Dumont's hand. Captain, John Hannibal Hancock.
Captain Dumont will not let go of Bill's hand. He'll just reach over with his other hand to shake yours.
I'll do the the grab of like you want to get to know someone. I'll do that one. That handshake.
Excellent.
Sorry,
Excellent.
Derek. I just took a look at the picture that you posted.
Uh-huh.
Is that Sir Hammerlock?
That is concept art for Sir Hammerlock, yes.
You've been better.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The fucking rules.
It's pretty good. Okay.
Would you run back through your introduction,
Chris?
Chris?
Oh, just a so I'm just a about 5'8", and I've got like a tattered suit on, and I go over and I shake your hand and I do the one to get to know you better handshake.
Obviously an upstanding member of the local gentry. I'm sure your guidance will be of great help in navigating the perilous waters of the social... damn it. Out of character, losing the word. Of the social hierarchy of these strange lands.
Pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure indeed. I'll shake your hand, thoroughly and
Ramp's
look
not
expect-
there, by the way.
I got it.
Sam.
I got it.
Look expectantly to the others.
At that one time, I can't.
Charlie, you're blanking. You can't remember if you've seen this man.
I'm glad you summoned me. It seems like there's much work to be done in these strange and dangerous lands, but never fear, Captain Dumont is here. I would say that thematically, you absolutely know Captain Dumont. You are also absolutely certain you've never met Captain Dumont before in your life.
Well, what's Charlie saying, Seth?
He's just sitting there like with a puzzled look on his face, and he's like, "I'm not sure what to make." He the internal
Charlie-
monologue is like, "I'm not sure what to make of this."
Charlie, are you okay? You should
Well, I
trying
think
to shake your hand.
I think I met this guy. Like I know him, but I can't remember when we met. It was
No, I'm not trying to shake his hand. I'll give him a brotherly embrace.
Yeah.
Shaking the hands of.
Like Charlie is down for that, but he's still like the face doesn't change. Like he's deep in thought, trying to figure out where we met. It's like so like 80 or no?
It's like real life when you like you've met someone once in your life and they're like, "Hey, you remember me? We did this and this together." And you're like, yeah."
Yeah. It's like you meet some aunt that you've like never met in your like conscious memory.
Is that?
Yes.
All right, that
For a
leaves.
second, I thought you were talking about an actual human, just some ant. I was like, "Jeez."
I definitely have aunts who that has been my experience with.
I thought he said ant as in like
The
A-N-T.
bug.
Oh, like
And I was so confused for a second.
Hey, it's the city, baby. Anything can happen.
All right, that leaves four characters who haven't shaken Captain Dumont's hand. Bob, that's Propulsion and Carinate. Do they introduce or do they hang back?
Carinate is gonna go for like a really firm handshake.
Captain Dumont will match it grip for grip.
appreciate that he's not the type to try and outfirm the other person.
Listen, he's a gentleman.
Not a fucking barbarian.
Yeah.
Carranate's just gonna nod his head.
On the other hand, somebody who did try to, do the whole assertive firmness thing, he'd just break their fucking wrist.
Hell yeah.
As you should. Does propulsion hang back, or do they,
Propulsion's hanging back and just pacing back and forth with his, just like muttering to himself, pacing back and forth. He's not paying attention at all.
Got it. Alright. Cyborg is going to come up and go, well, howdy, you could see they were about to say Deputy Cyborg. Stop, deflate a little bit. I'm the Citizens Militia Cyborg. Pleased to meet you.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you as well, my good friend. I'm sure you've done wonderful work keeping this fine city safe, and I look forward to seeing the efforts of the local law in aiding us in our dangerous and exciting journey.
You see him curl up a little bit with every word. It hits him like a fucking hammer.
Jesus. Derek just did like 40 points of psychic damage to this guy.
Does he need to make a stability check, actually?
No, he's okay. He's not that far yet, but he is going to go, I'm going to go sit down, guys.
Does he need to make a stability check for referring to himself as a citizen's militia?
It doesn't feel quite real yet, so he's okay for now.
Out of character. If I said, why don't you just say you're just Cyborg of the candy shop?
That would trigger a stability check.
Okay, never mind then. I thought that'd be exciting being part of the candy shop.
I feel like Cyborg of the Candy Shop is some sapient AI robot that's really, really depressed because it exists for the sole purpose of making Dippin' Dots.
You know what? That's the whole purpose of Cyborg now.
Hey, does he have a
with Sweet Tooth.
Does he have a what?
Does he have like a cooling system?
Yeah. He has a nuclear reactor. Of course, he has a cooling system.
Oh yeah, duh. We gave him that.
Somewhere in the far distance, Sweet Tooth licks his lips. He knows something good's coming.
Oh, that's cursed.
Oh my god.
That's so cursed.
I remember the beginning of this campaign, Seth's just like, I need equipment. Now he's got equipment, now we just give him more.
He's gonna hit critical mass. He's gonna make the Singularity, the dark chocolate core, so dark not even light escapes it.
You should learn candies from other countries. Ooh, I can recommend that to Sweet Tooth.
Okay, the final person to shake.
I want to find something to make Dragon's Beard candy. I just don't have a good idea for it.
Final person to come up. Corey is still there, so he's gonna come up and say, "Well, greetings, Captain Dumont. My name is Corey Maddox. I'm the security chief for the local wharf. I run a little private security firm called the Fops.
The local policia. I look forward to our working
Explicitly not law enforcement. Please don't say that when there are cops nearby."
He will seamlessly transition into the local bully boys. A pleasure to meet you. I look forward to making great use of your muscle and skill in intimidation and thuggery.
We're not thugs, sir, but thank you for your...
Captain Dumont has already moved on.
Okay, I'm gonna... Did you not shake his hand? Because that would be great.
Oh, no, I shook his hand.
Okay.
I shook his hand with exactly the same amount of enthusiasm. Captain Dumont does not see anything wrong with being the local thugs and bully boys. They're a natural part of this.
Yeah, but Corey took that like a fucking truck. He's already weak from the stare down. Corey just turns around and joins the Citizens Militia Cyborg on the stump.
I'm just gonna like pat Corey on the back as he walks over.
As Captain Dumont like says that though, I'll be like, don't worry, he'll run away at first sight.
Well, someone has to carry the message to those who will come and save us in our hour of need.
John hates Corey. He has to throw a jab in when he can.
So, wow.
Yeah, it's in character. He has to do it. So
This is the best fucking character walk on, Derek. This is incredible.
Thank you.
So Charlie, you now notice scavengers are making their way towards the balloon.
I'm just gonna in glass write and no turn around in front of all of them.
They're just gonna harvest the
You already see one putting a screwdriver into the wall that was turned to glass to steal the letters.
Hang on. Have they gotten to the ship yet?
No.
Okay.
Wait. I need to damn you something that we should have done. Oh, wait, never mind. That doesn't make sense. Continue.
Okay. A few of them are put off, but it looks like a few of the either sturdier or more foolhardy ones are making their way towards the crashed ship.
All right. Well, as soon as one of them gets close enough to the ship, someone that they can't see inside the ship is going to fire several warning shots nearby. Ping pong pew.
Can we make that sound too?
Yes.
Please. Yeah.
Upon hearing that,
carefully designed gun.
one was going to go, "Oh God, that's the blinking death! There are only 4 of those!" And they're going to hightail it away.
As they hightail it away, you'll see a perfectly normal human man stick his head out with a sort of engineer's cap on the top, peer around to make sure that's the last of them, and duck back inside.
All right. So
Can we take a moment to analyze this scavenger who apparently has, he immediately was able to identify some aspect of what that was. Is one of the scavengers like the fucking Yamcha of the city?
Kind
Knows
of.
everything, not good at anything?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
All right, so that's that walk-on done. So, you guys have to plan for the raid on the flotilla in 2 weeks. You guys currently don't have any major plans on that, I think, right?
Because we learned about it about 5 minutes ago.
No, I mean, you don't have any, prior plans that are easily adaptable to it.
We also skimmed over the details instead of actually went in depth on the details.
He had to do a dossier. Oh,
yeah. I'm saying in real life we don't know a lot because we haven't read the dossier, and also we technically in character got it 5 minutes ago.
Got it. All right. So a timer just went off for in-game time. You guys have Skater Kid show up with a little bottle from Reginald.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's Reginald's first intelligence report. He has already managed to infiltrate the upper ranks of the overseers for the Hive. He doesn't know how he's been successful. He's just been making glow sticks and it's just kept working. Enclosed is a vial of the refined whale oil that they make, and a vial of beeswax. He says he doesn't quite know if these are going to be useful, but they seem to be highly prized, so maybe they'll help you guys out. Things he's learned. 1, the Hive, individually, it's normal people are actually really weak. But they have a shit ton of mercenary forces who are really strong. And they have overseers who provide buffs to the slave legions. If you're gonna fight them, he recommends stuff that can kill a lot of people really fast or disable a lot of people really fast. He was thinking, if he was doing it, he'd do, sleep glow sticks that cover a large area. He will say he does not recommend hitting them while they're doing the harvest. He thought it might be a good idea when they're all preoccupied, but that's when they have the most mercenaries and the most overseers. That's when things are locked down the hardest. So he says you guys are going to have a very narrow window between when the harvest is done and when they move on. That's going to be your only chance you get to strike first.
Okay.
He doesn't know a lot because there's really good infosec here. They play things really close to the chest, so even though he's pretty close to the top now, the most he can do is try and learn certain things about certain people. He knows that the head talent is a guy named Colonel Sanderson, but he's never even been able to see him yet.
I'm trying to take
I
these
actually
notes.
might just try and get a write-up of Colonel Sanderson from Mutant Squad. Because I know they mentioned him during the crossover.
They definitely did, yeah. Do you guys have anything to say back to Reginald or anything to task him with? Now, Reginald is the opposite of Ronnie. Reginald only gets like 1 or 2 actions per day, but he gets no penalties from being asked specific things. He's not great at subterfuge, but he has a decent shot at any task because he's a tinker.
Captain Dumond will say, "Stay safe, my friend. We appreciate the sacrifice you're making and risking your life for us in the depths of evil's dark dungeons."
We're technically writing all this.
Can't hear you.
So as you actually as he says that, you see glowing ink appear, transcribing everything Captain Dumont says, and then you see glowing ink reply, question mark, question mark, I've died for less.
Well, we should give him a specific task, though. I was thinking maybe find out information on the different mercenary groups.
That's a good idea, yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything on the top of my head that I can think of, so I like that one.
He gets 2, right? So
He gets 2 with a reasonable chance of success, or he can guarantee one thing.
Is he in with the Hive or in with the Iron Legion?
He's in with the Hive.
Can we get him to give us a breakdown on who they're friendly with, who their enemies are, like what their breakdown of their diplomacy basically is?
Reginald has some memories from the other universe where he was with the Hive. He can tell you that right now. The Hive has a bad relationship with pretty much everyone. People work with them.
They sell stuff to.
They sell stuff to everyone. They are think of them as like the.
Hey, can I give an example?
Yeah.
You know how you order stuff from Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
You know how you hate Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty close. They control the food, and they control the stuff that keeps the damp away. So
does he know of anyone less morally reprehensible who could be convinced to move in and take over their operations if we were to crush them?
I'm going to be honest. I was legitimately thinking of just putting Sweet Tooth in charge of there, if that was an option.
Captain Dumond has no problems with this.
I would be okay with that.
Nation building in foreign countries is a fine old British tradition. And then abandoning them immediately after and never paying attention again.
Oh, actually, that's very important. I need Chivalry to roll if Captain Dumond's a Sassanach or not.
Roll with 6 dice.
I like it.
Okay. Alright, Chivalry gets 2 10s.
Derek?
Oh, that's hard. You know what? I am going to roll to find that out. Today? Yes. Tomorrow? Maybe not.
That's the first confirmed yes you've had.
You're gonna get a yes with a question mark.
So Chivalry will square that bit of knowledge away, and while he still does quite like Captain Dumont as a very bombastic, interesting presence, reminds him a bit of the fairy courts in terms of this archetype he's chosen to play, he will get maybe 3 degrees of wariness.
I think I thought of a question before I forget it. Maybe he already knows, but how do they keep all those slaves in check with just the overseers? Do they have like a hyper charm person, a hyper command? Like, is there a way to break that?
I mean, there's some hyper charm, but there's also bomb callers and just abuse.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I don't think we've talked too much about.
So, It's a mix of there are a ton of slaves. There's a frightened middle class that desperately don't want to either become slaves or go back to being slaves, who do as much to enforce the social order as the overseers do. And then there's just the overseers themselves who are just terrifying.
Captain Dumond would like him to get us a working example of their bomb collars and or any other easily transportable control mechanisms.
Okay. I'm just going to make a note of that. Now, something else that...
Wait. But because I asked him to do something too. Do we want to just do that, the bomb collars, if you think you can disable them?
Let's focus on that, and we can maybe do the other one the next day, because we have time.
What was Okay, so there is one thing Reginald would like you to know. From the other timeline, he does remember some rumblings of a resistance movement. He was never involved in it. But he thinks he could find out.
Yeah, if he has time on the back burner, I'd like to know if that exists in this universe mainly. Just like...
Captain Dumond has interacted with many slave-owning populations, and it's always an excellent addition to any plan if we could free them all simultaneously.
Would it be worth telling Reginald that if he can find evidence of a resistance, if he encounters a flying man in a spacesuit, he should make sure they contact each other?
The one-scene wonder of...
I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm going to copy-paste into chat. Sam, you don't need to look, but if everyone else can just make sure I didn't forget anything.
Looks right.
Okay.
Seems right to me.
So Reginald isn't going to find out as much day to day, but he will not arouse suspicion. People like him. Speaking of being liked, another little vial jumps out. It's from Ronnie.
Oh boy, what's the Ronnie message?
Guys, I figured out where the raid's happening. They're going to hit the flotilla in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that tracks.
It's covered in blood. There's like a few bullet holes in it.
What is the flotilla out of character?
I know what task. I know what task we should give Ronnie, by the way. It's start like setting up 1 second.
Give me 1 second. Derek, the flotilla is a minor settlement by the Foundry. It's not under control of the Gear Boys, but they're a scavengers settlement. There were a lot of derelict warehouses and tech headquarters, or like tech. What's the word? What's the like industrial parks in that area? Mm-hmm. So there's a decent amount of intact scavenge in that area. The flotilla is it's one of the largest both scavenging settlements and bazaars for exchanging to get like refueled and back on your way. It's essentially what if the hub never made it big?
Gotcha.
Okay. Guys, I don't know if you think this is an idea, but maybe Ronnie works on convincing the Fringe Marquis, who's the guy who's honorable but a bit misguided, into maybe protecting the Gear Boys and trying to get the Gear Boys more influence. What do you think of that?
That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Ronnie, he's a lot better at subterfuge, but he struggles with specialization.
Isn't that subterfuge? Oh, okay.
So he's not really good at focusing on one person. Got it.
So we should just leave him to his methods, and we'll get what we get.
Maybe start.
Now,
okay. I'm trying to think. What was Tristan really worried about? He's had trouble with convincing some of the other Gear Boys to.
He's better if we just leave him to his own devices. Let's leave him to his own devices.
Okay.
He does give you one bonus piece of information because you left him to his own devices last time. The thing he stole last time, it's called a Forge Heart. under no circumstances should the Iron Legion get it back. Apparently, it has a few uses. One, it can be used to fuel massive engines of war.
Wait. Too fast.
No worries. Basically, if it's in the right hands, it enables them to do stuff they shouldn't be able to do. Such as, it seems whatever they're doing that lets them mass produce certain powers, the Forge Hearts are involved.
Gotcha.
So every single one that they don't have is another power they can't mass produce.
Got it.
If they bring them out into the field, they can supercharge their powers. And finally, it appears as if they're also necessary for making some of their more specialized armors. Now, a lot of the armors aren't kept at the foundry. He will let you know that there are 2 armors in particular that have just recently hit mass production, so you will see them. They're called the Goliaths and the Leviathans. Goliaths are these 12-foot tall retrofitted diving bells. He can give you stats on them, which would basically just be me copying and pasting stats so you guys can reference them. But in short, the Goliaths, they're frontline bruisers. If you use metal-based attacks, Goliaths get a lot of their strength from magnetic dynamo engines, so they can redirect metal attacks. And they can provide... It covers a very wide AoE. So if you try and use artillery, or bullets, or try to use magnetic powers on them, Goliaths will shut that down immediately. It's caught a lot of settlements off guard.
Is that any metal?
It works best on magnetic.
Can you copy paste all this?
Yeah.
I'm typing as fast as I
No
can.
worries, no worries.
I can only do so much.
So, do we have this this Forge Heart?
You guys do have one out of character.
Super wouldn't know that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that.
I don't want to be that guy, but should
Who
we
holds the Forge Heart?
for a moment that, well, why are we trusting Dumont so much? Since they're going to just
he's
roll
one
up.
of Charlie's good friends.
Yeah, you know,
Charlie
it?
brought him here.
Okay, that's fair. I'll accept that at face value.
Charlie sure doesn't accept it at face value, but
No, I super don't.
And currently, the Forge Heart is being held by a bunch of Mr. President's army men.
Hey, so bullets
You
are
were
usually
researching it.
magnetic?
Wait, were you researching that or the cog? I don't remember.
I have to look it up.
You are still researching the cog right now. We didn't swap
Yeah,
it
that-
over.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should stop
or-
doing that.
No, the reason why I'm doing the cog is it'll give the soldiers paranormal abilities.
It is very good.
Like that. Like imagine if like one of the scouts could have Charlie's eyes, like the ability to see through glass and something from thousands of miles away. That would be pretty good too, because then Charlie doesn't have to like constantly focus on everywhere. And
So
we
you want
detect-
like a psyker unit in your RTS?
Basically.
Oh, right. I forgot to mention. Your soldiers basically rolled what is the equivalent to a critical success on their research, so they get to know one of the things for free.
What?
When they were looking into the cog.
Oh, okay.
So you guys currently have Spoke 2, the Rebus, researched, which is the spoke that lets you use 2 artifacts at once. The soldiers have accidentally discovered Spoke 1, which I believe is called the Empty Circle. It's just an empty circle. What it does is they noticed that when a toy soldier activated it, he basically became a stalker before he ceased to exist. Like,
So if we did that on a person, they would probably become a stalker but not cease to exist.
So becoming a stalker just means you have 0 willpower.
it's a little bit more complicated. There's a difference. Stalkers only
Yeah.
happen if you spend a long time at 0 willpower.
Is that 0 willpower or 0 base will?
Both.
Okay.
Basically, the longer you spend at 0 base and 0 willpower, weirder shit starts to happen to you, and you start to kind of fall through the cracks of reality a little bit. When you hit rock bottom, that's when you become a stalker.
Sam, you can post the stats for the armor and Leviathan.
I will
The
post
Goliathans
those
later.
in Power Making. I'm just typing up stuff I said earlier.
Oh, okay.
So the reason I asked about the metal thing is that Chivalry's armor is nominally made of metal, Fraggle Rock is made of copper, and Bill's tooth is made out of a metallic substance.
Mr. President's shoulders are made out of plastic.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
most
yeah.
aren't magnetic.
Yeah. So it has the most effect on magnetic stuff. It doesn't need to be magnetic, you guys are finding out. Goliaths,
Powers of might.
they have a pilot, and the pilot... So, Goliaths can't be made of cold steel, or cold iron, you guys are finding out, which is a good thing. The bad thing is, every pilot of a Goliath has to have some form of power generating ability to get it to work, and that means the Goliaths are just saturated with paranormal energy. That means weird shit happens around them all the time.
Is my game not picking me up? Just curious, did you hear me say okay, gotcha like 3 seconds ago?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't.
Nor did I.
Oh.
Goliaths are also really bad in close range. If they punch you, even if they miss, just the sonic catastrophe that is them moving will liquefy your insides, blow out your eardrums, break your limbs.
Okay, so you said really bad in close range. I thought you meant the other way.
Bad for you.
Yeah, I get that.
The opposite of that is the Leviathan Armor, which is this 400-foot long, are basically artillery platform. They spend most of their time underwater, resurfacing to do long-distance artillery shelling, which peppers the area in flechettes, which they then have a Tesla coil array, which rains down lightning that seems to be guided by the flechettes.
Oh shoot, was I helping you make these better? I didn't realize that when I was correcting your work on the Leviathans, that was Iron Legion stuff.
Yep.
Well,
Traitor to the cause.
Seth, stop helping Sam.
Well, he
This
built
is
something
already
wrong.
difficult enough.
He built it wrong, and I was correcting it.
So,
Don't
Ronnie
correct it.
actually rolled really well on his info gathering. Leviathans have a range of about 9 miles, and they can move about a mile every 3 seconds. They're very fast.
Jesus. Holy fuck.
He doesn't know how strong they are. All he knows is once they're below the water, they're basically undetectable.
That's
So we're
horrifying.
basically fighting ballistic missile submarines.
Kind of, yeah.
Sick.
Marines are the missiles, and they have missiles.
That being said, he has seen Leviathans straight up tear through buildings. He knows they're no slouch in close quarters combat if you catch them out. But
Anything that's 400 feet is no slouch in close quarters.
yeah, weirdly enough, they are weaker than the Goliaths.
No, that tracks. Those are built for close quarters.
He knows there's a third armor that's just recently hit mass production, but he wasn't able to learn anything about it. You guys are, from context clues, and because you have Mr. President there, 5 hard dice in mind, I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. President can figure out that the Gorgon Slayer armor that Tristan was wearing is that armor. Is the third
Okay, I'll
mystery
figure that
armor.
out on my own.
Yep. All Ronnie knows about that is powers don't work on it. He knows there's a lot more to it, but he doesn't have that info.
Okay.
He's gonna say, like, apparently the Gorgon Slayer is the most dangerous one.
That's
Definitely the one with the wildest name.
Yeah.
It's a really sick name, though.
Oh, I've already taken a lot of fucking notes.
something nanomachines, son.
Yeah, sorry, this is an info. Like every session where you have an espionage update, it's just going to be info heavy. I'm sorry. Alright. If it feels better, this is being recorded, so you can always check the video.
Can we take a couple minutes and do a bathroom and whatnot break?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll grab some water.
We'll be right back after these short messages. Bob, you still there?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I've actually been up the entire time. What did I miss?
Missed all
Gasp.
this. Here, I'll just copy paste this. I now have to have scene with Charlie. Ugh.
I was joking.
Nope, I gotta copy paste this. Here you go, buddy. This is everything you missed.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem, buddy.
1 out of 24. Oh wait, 1/24.
Yeah.
So, Bob, I had a question for Avery to ask Karenade.
Yeah.
How... I don't really know how I would word it, so I'm going to ask it here where we're kind of nominally not in character. How would Avery... what... Karenade knows Avatar. What other big franchises does he know?
Carronade came from outside the city, so
I feel like, considering the issues we're having with the law, apparently, if Karenade could use whatever knowledge he might have about DC Comics or whatever to establish us as a sort of Justice League thing that doesn't necessarily exist within the government hierarchy.
So, Chris, did you laugh at that?
No, that was me. Hi.
Oh, okay.
It
Justice
just
League
seems
is part of the
prudent.
government hierarchy.
I honestly
the
wouldn't
UN.
know.
It's a United Nations, technically a United Nations disaster relief and police force augmentation.
Okay, I'm just thinking if we can get something like that set up for ourselves, it would be a good call, because if Avery gets a ticket every time he talks to someone, since he has native power on his hyper charm, that's going to be a problem. It seems better for us to sidestep this issue if we can.
Excuse me, sir, but your entire existence is illegal. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the flooded district.
Ouch.
I mean, that's basically...
They're just going to fucking revoke Avery's citizenship.
I don't think Avery had citizenship in the first place.
How can we recontextualize this as him getting banned from a bar?
If you get banned from the town, you get banned from all the bars in that town.
So
You're
we
actually
could-
20% speed running, getting banned from bars.
we could kidnap Bomber while he's asleep and just put him in the new mayor's office and see what happens.
Oh no!
I really do not want to do anything that involves sneaking up on Bomber. That seems like a great way to get killed.
Why do I want to?
I can't believe Sam brought back the fucking the government system that hasn't done shit for the city at all.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
For this district. Like,
For this district, they actually did a pretty good job for the hub.
Did in the past.
I'm
past
pretty
10.
sure in version 1, like, there wasn't really much of a government and the privateers ran everything.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of expecting.
The entire city is a lawless zone. Some areas just have more lawlessness than others.
Alright, I'm going to be back in a moment.
Look, remember, the government is powerless to help you, not harm you.
Yeah.
Okay, but what
Yeah.
about in the city?
But yeah, but what if we just take Bomber and put him in the new mayor's office and see what happens? It went bad for the first mayor's office. I'm just committed to making Bomber's life a living hell.
There's one officer, like, that's so sad.
I'm surprised.
It's
nobody
crazy
moved.
because they also made the tickets unaffordable, which makes zero sense. The whole point of tickets is you make them super affordable, so that people,
Honestly,
that they can give them out more to people.
I'm honestly.
You cut out, Bob.
Kill.
Bob?
Wait.
Rip Bob.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I unplugged my microphone.
Oh,
So,
nice.
I'm honestly surprised nobody has narked on Bomber to try and get preferential treatment from anybody in power.
People in power have no power.
It's my boy.
This
Why
is
would I
true.
do that?
Like, I would like to see Mannequin roll up as a single self. See all of us and be like, you guys have unpaid tickets.
Good luck catching me when I'm in the sky.
So, I will say, like,
I put all of my unused characters just go to the sky.
they go to the scar, and it's just the meat grinder. I will say, Cyborg can tell you right now, Mannequin is the strongest deputy by far.
Yeah, there's no way that she wasn't. Like, he's ridiculous. Like, you can very clearly see that by their power.
So the messed up thing is, that's like step 1 of 6.
I figured. Like,
If I
mean,
follow
you
the
said
flow
yeah.
chart... Sorry, what'd you say?
complex power. You said she had a complex power, so, like, it makes sense.
Yeah, if you follow the flow chart, there is one eventuality where you wind up with 26 penalty dice, and you have to make a brawling check to escape. Minion
That sounds
powers
like
are...
fun.
Yeah, it's super not. I'm really glad it didn't come to violence.
I managed to land 4 pronouns in that sentence, so that was good.
I'm proud of you. So just in case we never see Deputy Mannequin again, the bit is every time they show up, they're another gender.
Well, I chose a powerful moment to log back in.
Yeah.
The issue with that is you were not consistent in which one they were this time.
Yeah, I super wasn't, because I was like... I got used to only mentioning them once. Like, I would mention them once per scene, and then I would have to remember, okay, next time you mention it, swap. And it was hard to turn that off.
Oh, I'll be right back. Sorry.
Same. Give me a sec.
I managed to slip in, he, she, they, but I also got C in there, which I think you thought was just she.
My pronouns are C and shitty.
Incredibly.
I hope we can play that Thursday.
Yeah. It's getting to the point where I'm going to have to pick one game to drop because Jay miraculously was able to get War for the Crown back up and running. I thought that game was dead.
Which game do you think you would have to drop?
Definitely not my definitely wouldn't drop any games I'm running.
I assumed that.
I'm gonna see if War for the Crown like it goes on hiatus pretty frequently, so I'll just see if it does that. If not, I guess I'll just drop whatever one doesn't run as often. Or maybe I'll be able to fit them all in, hopefully.
Alright, you dastardly fiends, I have returned to put paid to your madness and malice.
Chris walked away.
Fuck.
I have returned.
Chris is back.
I think Bob's still in the bathroom though.
I'm ready to take
Bob
more
walked
notes,
away.
Sam. I'm ready to take another 10 million notes.
You better. This will be on the exam.
Hey, those of you got.
Hey, just curious. If you should write up an exam, and I'll see how we can all do on it.
The very weird Darkness Rising reference right there.
Thank you. So, Sam, I have a great and hilarious idea, or at least I think it's great and hilarious. You record these, right? And do a bunch of people from like the other campaign watch them?
Really, no one watches them except for I think Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, I watch him to make sure I know my notes.
Because I was thinking it would be absolutely hilarious for the next one to narrate the introduction as Captain Dumond. Give the recap as Captain Dumond before the whole thing starts.
Holy shit.
You should do that anyway.
That seems fair.
That seems really good. Okay, Derek.
Yes.
I've been thinking about doing a story so far video.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on having Captain Dumont narrate everything he wasn't there for?
Absolutely.
Told him.
And he inserts himself into the background.
Yes.
It'd be really fucking funny because then that's how Derek learns what the hell happened.
If you give me a rundown on what happened, then I will narrate it as Captain Dumont.
If you just start a Google Doc, like we can write a script. Like it's gonna take you an hour to recap.
You
the
know
entire
what would
thing.
be really fun if we were all willing to do it? Is do the whole, previously on thing, but with everybody talking about what their characters have done, and then Captain Dumond narrating everything else. Like all of the introductions of characters and narrating, what's happening in the background and all of the characters that aren't.
Just inadvertently turn Captain Dumont into the most important character.
Yes. Just have him be the fucking narrator for the first, 2 years of the campaign.
I at one point had considered playing a character that was kind of like a narrator. I forget exactly what it was. It was a long time ago, like before I think this game even started.
I really got to learn how to do the Scottish voice again for Chivalry.
Yeah, you did that like twice.
I need to re-add it.
I considered going a little off theme and learning a South African accent for Captain Dumond.
Oh, that would be so good, though.
I might still because, I might still
having
use
a
it for
transatlantic accent.
a what?
Transatlantic accent.
I could see that.
I like the idea of getting some East India in there, though.
Look, to have some
think I
East
have
India
time.
in you, all you have to do is subjugate a subcontinent.
now a word
subcontinent, more like ayo.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I would love a power that just stops combat to do an ad read.
Oh man.
Don't tempt me, that's the only way Audible will sponsor this.
That's like the one guy whose talent still works in front of the Singularity.
I'm back, baby.
So,
Okay, so-
Chief Engineer Hanlon, how does the Singularity work? Well, you see, it's just capitalism.
We used ExpressVPN to reroute our powers so that it can work from different areas, like
if
in
Sam
front
ever
of the
becomes-
Singularity.
If Sam ever becomes Twitch famous and starts doing Raid's Shadow Legends, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that.
Apparently they have like
Dead by that point.
I feel like they do like really good money apparently, which I hate.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
If I was
not
a
like
Twitch
they're
streamer,
terrible
I would sell out instant fucking taneously.
So the second I start getting
explicitly
sponsorship
for them.
offers, we're going to Market Street, and I'm just going to disguise it in all the shit that happens on Market Street.
Paints the
I
company.
don't even know who would sponsor this. I want it to be someone weird, like Hero Squad, brought to you by Johnson & Johnson.
Hey, I might be working for them.
You'll hit up
There's
that
a
HR
conflict of
department,
interest.
Seth. Shill your friend.
Hey, marketing, this has 3 viewers on Twitch currently. 2 of them are people playing in the game, but that's besides the point.
All right.
2 of them are in
Yeah,
the game,
can do
but one of them's Elon Musk.
Is Bob back?
Yeah.
Oh, Bob's back. Yeah, I was waiting on him. Shit,
He's in your soul.
Sam, I'm here for your soul.
So, yeah. Those are the armors. You know the raid on the flotilla is happening. Now, do
You
you
got both of our things we want him to do.
I think
For Ronnie, we
so.
don't want. We just want him to keep doing what he does.
And then Reginald, retrieve bomb color text.
Control methods.
And then just if it happens, track down the resistance.
Yep.
All right, he should have a pretty decent chance on both of those. So Skater Kid gives you guys a he throws the horns, gives it a wiggle, and then skateboard ollie grinds out.
I wish I could see that.
Uh,
Okay, I know it's right.
Yeah, you know he's rad. All right, so that's the espionage taken care of. Obligations you guys still have. Get a shipment of Silver Tongue to the Dead Drop. And
Sweet Tooth is working on that.
now, how do you guys want to prep for the flotilla raid?
Give Mr. President several days with the the plans. It's not
Friends, I would be more than pleased to convey us all to the site of this epic battle and provide overwatch and aid as we battle these hooligans.
I think because there's so many, we really should try to go for like a stealth assassination.
Numbers are merely a statistic.
Not when those numbers fucking can fire from 9 miles away and move at a mile every 3 seconds.
So,
Aha! Then infiltration and sabotage will be our goal.
Yeah. Oh, Derek.
Damn.
Well, I am not sure why that was so funny, but I'm glad it
Oh,
was.
because you immediately turned around and agreed with what he said.
Yeah.
it's a classic bit. It just works. Okay. Chris,
Yeah.
what's the hard dice on Mr. President's mind?
Or tactics. Do you want tactics?
Tactics is more minute to minute. I'm asking because this is a logistics roll.
4 hard dice, plus 2 normal dice, and I can roll.
All right, Bob, does Propulsion want to aid? Because Propulsion actually has some pretty decent experience. He's seen these armors before.
Yeah, propulsion will aid.
Okay. Roll 5 dice, because 2 for taking time.
Okay, that's 2 10s, so that would be 6 10s total.
All right. So, based on the notes you got from Ronnie, Propulsion's experience, and just your mental tally of what could they possibly have at the Foundry, how many do they likely have total based on force projection charts in the area, how many do they have based on like things we've heard, you are reasonably certain there will be no more than 3 to 5 Leviathans at the flotilla raid. You're not sure on the Goliaths. You can't imagine there's going to be more than 8.
8 to 10 is probably the max on Goliaths. There will be about 60 to 100 men in the Mark III armors, though.
Which one were Mark III? That was just
The
regular armor.
personal ones. You have no info on the Mark 7s, the Gorgon Slayers, so you have no idea how many of those are going to be running around.
The other idea I have is
write
we could
that down.
disguise ourselves. Oh, are we back at the candy shop?
Yeah, you can be back at the candy shop. That's fine.
Oh, well, then I gotta do a scene real quick as Amp sees Captain Dumont.
Yes, Amp sees Captain Dumont.
He'll pull out his marker and go to sign his arm.
Captain Dumont will hold it out steadily and look mightily pleased by this. And remind me, who is this that's signing my arm?
This is the rock star from the slums.
Ah, I have heard such stories of your incredible musical talent.
If
Mayhap you will provide a stirring soundtrack to our coming adventure.
if you have been to the slums, you would know of him.
Captain Dumont absolutely knows of him. Captain Dumont may not have known of him 5 minutes ago, but
Captain Dumont did now know of him 5 minutes ago.
Perfect.
All right. Beautiful.
Captain Dumont sees a skeleton with blackened bones and a River Styx band hoodie. Reach out a hand to shake his hand.
Captain Dumont will be momentarily, but only momentarily, taken aback before he grips the hand and shakes it heartily. Forsooth, an animated bag of bones! Why, I haven't seen one of you in many years. What a pleasure! What a pleasure! Tell me, were you there when the Queen of the Dead finally fell to her inheritor, the King of the Underworld? What a battle! What a battle!
Glaucoma holds up a dry board and says, "I'm sorry, I can't speak. I am bone."
My friend, I have the utmost sympathy for your travails, but fear not. Those who prevail will always be enshrined in the halls of heroes.
He flips the sign around. "I don't speak English very well. I am Icelandic. Please speak slowly."
So I'm going to invoke skills as the plot demands and be able to speak Icelandic.
Shit, roll for it, yeah.
If you start speaking Icelandic, Mr. President instantly knows how to speak Icelandic.
That is 3 9s.
You immediately give the same spiel, but in Icelandic. You see the skeleton, startle back, and then immediately lean in holy shit, this is the first person I could understand perfectly since I've got here.
I love it.
Glaucoma gains 5 willpower.
John Hannibal Hancock will then start speaking Icelandic just to see what happens with the skeleton.
He's hard to read, but...
he's a skeleton. He's not supposed to read. I just want to see if he jingles or dances or something.
He does rattle a little bit, and you notice, as he's, doing some ASL, or Icelandic Sign Language, the second people aren't looking away, he goes back to the abacus that he uses to tally his bill for the day, and he moves the day counter back 1.
Aww.
We just now need to make sure that he never realizes that you could have always done that and always been able to talk to him.
I literally could have always talked Icelandic to him.
Just to make sure he never realizes that.
I mean, we can just get him a book, right? So that he can write in it?
The English language is she is spake.
Paper in this economy?
Paper in this hellmouth?
It's more likely than you think.
Also, how much longer would it be before we can ship the Silver Tongue off? I built I had put the version I'm thinking of sending in power making. It's just hyper charm with subtle and spray.
Seems good to me.
Just, he says.
Is the thing in the sky still going off?
Yes.
It hasn't rained yet, so yes.
Okay, well, Captain Dumont, having not been there for the explanation of what it is and why it's going on, will say, my friends, I must leave you for a few. That terrible racket in the sky is getting incredibly irritating. I must find some way to shut it off and
If you can make it
stomp
rain-
out immediately.
If you can make it rain, it'll go away.
Do I hear you? Let me take a 5 dice.
Perception check. Sense plus
Yep.
perception.
2 8s.
You hear him.
Okay, well, Captain Dumond will make a very flamboyant thumbs-up gesture as he walks away. And I would like to use the Spirit of the Unknown's science lab to whip up a basically something I can shoot into the sky to make it rain.
You're finally honed. Height of the 20th century engineering skills let you know this place is saturated with water. If you just blow up the sky, that'll knock the water right out.
Fantastic.
So you have a bunch of dynamite on sticks.
All right, well, I'm going to strap it to a hastily rigged up catapult, fling it into the sky, and detonate it at just the right moment to blow a hole in the sky full of rain.
You have a catapult on your dirigible.
Yeah, I do.
Holy shit.
This is the character Tom wished he played.
So you see the bundles of dynamite. You fling hundreds of the goddamn things into the sky. The explosions are weak, but over the course of about 8 to 10 hours.
Oh my god.
It's all right. My crew can handle that while I'm back with the party.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just like, Captain, you want us to what?
I want you to blow up the moon. No, sorry, that was last week. I want you to blow up the clouds.
Sir, like, the moon is one thing. Fuck the moon, sir. I agree with you, but these are clouds. They're not solid. How do we...
Give me excuses. Give me results.
Sir, yes, sir! They scuttle off.
Capital, I'll be right back.
They continue flinging black powder and dynamite into the sky.
Magical.
You see storm clouds are beginning to brew.
Sam, back to the tactics. Do I know which? Can I think which leaders would come?
You
We
don't...
knew which leaders would come.
All further conversation in this session will be done to a background noise of not only the recording in the sky, but also,
Jesus Christ.
So,
Powerful.
If I didn't have hyperstability, I'd probably have to make some stability checks.
I mean, based on what I know about this place, it's probably quieter than usual.
it's just an average fucking day.
So, like, I think I might be able to just turn the Mach 3s to glass. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but that might be on the table.
The dossier that Tristan gave you, the Mark IIIs can be outfitted with cold iron. They just prohibit the user from having powers.
Okay.
If they do that.
So the ones that aren't, because I'm assuming not all of them would be, I can just turn to glass. Goliaths, I think you said don't use cold iron specifically?
They don't, but... Okay, here's the thing.
they don't, but they're riddled with. They're saturated with paranormal energies.
There's
I
also
still-
a little
I can
thing
just-
that...
Drain that.
Not as easy as you think. Let me post one in power making so I can show... Discord, why?
I didn't do a loyalty or motivation.
Okay, so you know how your save is an endurance check?
Ah.
You know how endurance is a product of body? You see how the Goliath has 9 wiggle dice in body?
Yeah, but wouldn't that take up his turn?
Not if they have some other form of resistance first. So, like, let me put it this way. If they spend 4 willpower to knock it down to 6, they can just knock that off and still get a turn.
Okay. Not if I spend my 20 points to chain it.
Do it, Seth. I have
No.
20 XP too. I can get the nullification power working.
I mean, if you want to do that, you can.
No, I'm not doing that.
I meant like. So there are ways to make it useful. Chaining is a way around. I'm not going to deny that, but you have.
I'm super not doing that.
Cool. You have better options available to you right now.
I know.
Okay.
I was also going to invest those 24 points into Runecraft.
Hell yeah. Okay. Now, you don't have a full 2 weeks. It's going to launch within the 2 weeks. You don't know when. You could have Ronnie try and get you a better timetable. He will absolutely update you when it's launched, as far as he can.
So I know we're restricted to generally 2 character slots, but could we pull in like a bunch of people, including like Bomber and other people that are good fighters?
I'm gonna say the only player characters you are allowed are the ones in your 2-player character slots.
Okay.
Just because that's absolutely necessary for game balance.
Okay.
I would like to make a character who spends 200 points on nothing but damage skills and have that be my second character.
Please stop stealing my shtick.
That's fine.
Roll with Barriesta.
So,
It's the only thing I bring to this group.
what you guys will know from a tactics roll is that this is not a fight that's going to be won in combat. Like, fighting is very important here, because if you can't fight, you will just die. But this is a fight where you are massively outnumbered and outgunned. This is a fight, it's also a siege. You're going to win this by figuring out like tactics, what they want, what's your win condition. And like in no uncertain terms, the win condition for this isn't killing them all or winning the fight. It's like
It's killing specific players.
yeah. It's like assassinations. It's okay. So let me outline the flotilla conflict. Goals for the flotilla conflict. Right. You have 3 main goals. 1. There is a forge heart in the flotilla.
Yes, that's where it is.
No, they're missing. So there are 13 total. And they know for a fact one of the.
I super misunderstood that. I thought they thought the one we had was the flotilla.
So 1 is the forge heart, right? 2 is the 4 leaders need to die. So Iron Dragon, Alarm.
Not
Providing
all
silence.
of the leaders you mentioned are going to be there, but at least one of the ones you want to kill and one of the ones you want to survive are going to be there. You don't know who among them, though.
Why the fuck is there Chinese restaurant music playing from somewhere in this building? What the shit?
The flying Chinese restaurants going by.
Oh, fuck that. I'll be back. I need some Chinese food.
So we have healing. So the one we want to keep alive, we can keep alive pretty easily. If Amp has, I'm just gonna say it. If Amp has 21 willpower, he can just eliminate a person.
Can't he like eliminate a fucking city?
He can.
Chris, you never answered. Do you only have hard dice on that? Because
Oh, I did answer, and I said yes.
you won't be able to tune that back at all, right? That will affect the maximum amount of mass every time you use it.
Should I have gotten wiggle dice? Like
A little bit. Or controlled effects.
I have a
That's
control.
why did you lie to me?
Wait, yeah. I already said this. I already have controlled effects, Sam.
Why did you lie to me,
Got
Seth?
it. Okay,
just went fast off.
good.
I said that
Okay.
at the beginning, so I thought you said I can push all because I had controlled effect. I could put all the mass.
Okay, I thought you said you didn't have controlled effect. Okay, my bad.
So with controlled effect, I could literally launch someone into outer space. They have a trauma check, so they can't really save themselves. That has duration on it. So I can for sure delete a person. I'm pretty sure Bob can delete a person because it's Bob.
Okay.
Black or 4.
So-
you said there are 4 win conditions, but I only see 3 goals. We have Forge her.
Yeah, and then there's a little tilde in your 4.
Okay.
So these are the 3 things you need to do. 4 is a little. That's a secret.
Sam, I didn't notice you put things in. I was writing my own goals based on what I knew.
Yeah. So things you absolutely need to do. You need to make sure the Iron Legion doesn't get the Forge Heart. 2. You need to make sure the leader you want to die dies and the ones you want to live lives. 3. You need to make sure the flotilla at least survives. It doesn't need to win the fight. You just need them not to be absolutely destroyed. Because they are a very important settlement. For 1, providing salvage to the hub. And 2, repelling raids from the Iron Legion.
So I count the second goal as 2 different goals. I didn't know we needed to keep the flotilla alive, so I'm going to put that in.
And then there's a secret 4th goal that will, if you find out, you find out.
Bonus goal.
Secret goal. The most important goal.
We are not leaving this fight until we discover what that secret goal is, so help me God.
Just punching the shit out of the last surviving
What is
Iron Legion
our
member.
goal?
What is our last goal? I don't know!
What are you talking about?
Okay, so things we could do. Miss President could go to the flotilla, right? Make friends and start fortifying for them and helping them prepare because he's better at defense than he is at offense.
That is a fair point.
I was about to ask if we should alert them to the fact that the Iron Legion's going to be rolling up.
Probably.
So, your tactics roll. Make it for me right now.
Okay. Take 1 extra for taking time.
That works.
Is Sweet Tooth done his silver tongue?
6 10s.
He will be done at the end of this conversation. So, here's the thing. You know, they are sending the bare minimum they think they need to get this over with. Because that's consistent with what Propulsion has experienced. That's consistent with what the dossier says. If they do a scouting run and see that this place is prepared, prepared in a way they weren't anticipating, they're going to send more guys because they think they need more guys.
How much?
So what if we prepare without them knowing?
That would be better, but everyone you let in on it is another person who could blab.
Well, no, I was just saying we do it secretly.
That works.
Another thing we could do is just kick it right off and tell the Hive that they're going to be there.
Long trip for the Hive. I don't think they'd even make that in 2 weeks.
We could tell literally 1 person, but I don't think that's a good idea. It's an option. That was all I was saying.
So you could tell Skateboard Kid could tell Reginald, and then Reginald could blab.
Yeah. That was my train of thought, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea.
So the reason that's a bad idea is because assuming they get there and assuming they start killing people,
They might kill the people we need to survive.
Yeah.
They also might steal the Forge Heart. They also might just enslave the entire flotilla. Yeah.
Who can we mobilize without telling them why we're mobilizing them? Who can we say, you gotta trust us, we need you to get ready, so that we can fend off a dangerous enemy at this time.
So Lilac
talk
has
anymore.
sensed the opportunity to be a flunky. There is now a cowboy in like a lilac poncho and hat, just spinning his gun, going, "I've heard there's an opportunity to throw my life away."
Jesus, Lilac,
Wow.
you don't need to throw your life away every time. But I like the enthusiasm.
No. Captain Dumont will immediately dart over to his side and said, "Friend, I appreciate your initiative and your inspirational desire to die a hero. We are going to get along fantastically."
Wow, positive reinforcement. That's a new one.
Lilac loses 2 willpower.
Why, the last time I died, I was immortalized in the annals of 3 different civilizations.
Oh yeah, Sam.
We should all
By
be
the
so
way.
lucky.
Yep.
Bomber has lost another 2 willpower.
Oof.
Over Harris,
Just-
do it again.
Just like while this is happening, I'm gonna like quietly lean over to Avery and be like, you know, he hasn't dinged the lie detector a single time. And that scares me more and more the more.
Maybe he just believes everything.
I mean, that's possible. But like,
Came in on an airship. I mean, that.
I mean, like,
Did you distrust a man who came in on an airship?
absolutely. Also, when did you join the conversation?
Oh no, that was out of character.
I know.
Okay.
I would really like to have like a mug that says, "Would you distrust the man who owns an airship?"
Would you ever trust a man who owns an airship? Okay, so one thing Lilac needs to mention before this conversation goes on. He's going to stop and point the gun at Charlie and go, "Hey, was it you who mentioned bringing back that corpse we now have stored in the basement?"
Before Charlie says anything, Captain Dumont will circumspectly push the gun down and say, "Gun safety, comrade. Gun safety."
No, look. He's going to point the gun at Charlie's head and pull the trigger. The gun will rotate 90 degrees and the bullet will hit the ceiling. Like, just rotate out of his hand.
I recommend you get that looked at. Thrilling heroics aren't so thrilling when you die to your own firearms. And this is a drama, not a comedy.
I'm out of character blanking on who, or like,
Himohima? You had a plan that involved bringing her back using blue.
Rotate.
They
I thought they
buried
buried
her. Yeah, but they buried her because we weren't gonna do that because
Right.
they
Yeah.
pinpoint where she was.
Alright, in that case, Lilac is going to say, like, you mentioned a plan like that.
yeah, I think we weren't going to do that because then they could identify her and track it back to us. I'm thinking I would love to, when this all blows over, circle around to that and see if we can.
Lilac's just gonna be like, no, that's not the point. You know Blue can only reliably bring back Vaqueros, right?
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, it takes her months of practice to just learn, like, a new person.
Oh, that makes sense with how her power works, yeah.
Yeah, like, if she can bring back other people, it just, there's a pretty high chance something goes horribly wrong.
Good to know.
If you want her to practice, just let me know. I'll give you her meat. I'll give her your meat to her, and she can spit out these horrible malformed corpse copies of you. But that'll be like her entire day.
I mean, does she have anything else to do? Like, if she does, that's fine. But I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I would really like Charlie being able to be
I
crawled back.
believe Blue has been running the auction, like running auctions nearby. Yep, Blue is an auctioneer, so they have been. Basically, they've been going to local thrift shops and going like, just like bullshitting shit about like, and this vase here from the 1600s, owned by Theodore M. Rossman. Do I have a bidding of $5?
Do I have everything of 5 pieces of 8, 5 pieces of 8, oh, 6 pieces of 8 of the man in the hat over there.
Yeah, the fucked up thing is those numbers are actually pretty right.
She still makes money somehow.
Incredible.
Yeah, but if you ask her to, she.
Has the Cosmo stopped in today?
Yeah, he comes in with his world's number 656 million dad mug.
Wait, she has kids?
Fantastic.
Oh,
And
wait, no,
apparently he's like pretty high up on the list of dads because of
The
my dad was
Fops.
the. Wait, 500 or 5 million?
Million.
Like
So-
no, like 500 million or 5 million.
500 million.
Oh, never mind. That's not super great. Still above average.
No, that's still like top percentage. I think
As I
there's
recall,
7 billion
wasn't this
people in the world.
wasn't this
500
mug live
million. That would
updating?
still be like.
This mug was live updating.
top
Last time you guys
75%.
saw it, it was world's number 7 dad.
Oh shit!
He's been beating his children.
He has like bags under his eyes. His mug is empty. He's gonna show up to the counter, place his 2,000 pieces of 8.
Whoa,
Or-
that's not the number he's been giving. He's
or-
been giving 15.
He needs a little bit of extra.
Wait, so how much then? You
20,000.
said 2,000. Oh, I thought you said 2,000. My bad.
I might have. I meant to say 20,000. My bad.
Oh, a little bit bigger one today. I think I have one of those, and I'll actually give you another size up. You look like you need it.
He's gonna nod. He's gonna take out one of the jawbreakers, crack it like an egg on the edge of the coffee cup, and it's just gonna leak. It's like coffee is just gonna pour from it into the mug. He's gonna take a sip, and it's gonna go all the way up to world's number 3 dad.
Here you go.
Oh,
He's gonna give you a little nod, tap of the hat, take the jawbreakers, and leave.
You know, he's my best customer, honestly. just curious. Do I have other customers?
Not regulars, no. So Avagdra is still at the counter and going, so when do the customers show up?
That's a really good question. I've been asking that myself.
You need someone for marketing on this candy shop.
I was gonna look that weird kid, but he vanished. I don't know what happened to him.
He went to go fucking hunt Urban Decay.
Nope.
Did it? No, I was talking about
G-Slice.
G-Slice.
Oh, G-Slice. I thought you meant like the kid that mixed things together.
No,
Okay.
no, I wouldn't have locked him in a closet to do paperwork.
G-Slice was also just too irresponsible to market this shop.
Oh, you wouldn't have been able to leave the closet. That would have been fine.
We could get the Fops to help. Corey could finally have a redeeming quality.
Hey, are there any of the, I'm gonna ask Lilac, are any of the Vaqueros good at marketing? Because my name's not really that out there. I'd like to be.
Capitalism. was in
Let's
character.
see here. Well, Teal is really good at line reads. Red, he's been a pit fighter in the past. He's had sponsors. I want to say. So Yellow's been doing some gondola stuff around here. Like he's been driving people around, but sorry, she could be like she could like recommend people to come this way if
I
you
love
want.
that.
Finally, Blue could start working in your candy indoor auctions.
Now, my good friends, was I or was I not mishearing when I was told that there was a fellow capable of projecting messages and visions directly into the sky?
He just left. But
Might want to hop on those opportunities a little faster, my friend. Names don't spread themselves.
that's the thing that you're currently blowing up, and I don't really want to do that to the town again.
So the two clouds have like broken in half and merged together into one film, and it's just become the most nightmarish nonsense you guys have seen.
And it's also still exploding.
It is still
Looking back at
exploding.
the mountain, After looking up at that for about a minute, Avery will ask Captain Dumont, perhaps you could advertise using the explosions in Morse code.
Fantastic idea, my friend. I'll have my men get right on it. Captain Dumont will immediately rush off to implement this phenomenal suggestion.
As you're running, I'm going to yell, we have a dock if you want to stay here.
Once he gets there, he'll realize he doesn't know what he's actually supposed to be advertising, and head back.
Wait, the candy shop has a more points suitable for the dirigible?
Oh.
So
Also, the dirigible is still crashed. So.
your crews are like, all right, Morse code. I guess that means more in code. So they launch all of the dynamite at once, and you see just this massive explosion rock the night sky, or midday sky, as you actually see the sky crack like glass.
That's unreal. Oh no, what can we do?
I assume that doesn't really mean much. This place has like 15 suns, 35 moons.
So the rain begins coming down. It's technicolor. There's all manners of light hitting the ground as the rain comes down. Every raindrop spending out ripples out a new color. It's weirdly beautiful.
Hey, just so you know, I know the rain's really pretty, but for those of you who haven't been here a long time, that is acidic. Don't go outside.
Yeah, the rain is acidic. It will kill you.
Captain Dumont will meanwhile be popping open an umbrella and watching the beautiful sunrise/sunset/rainstorm of death.
Bayuba will sigh and put his galoshes away.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to actually retcon that. That seemed very funny to say.
Why would you retcon it? That's perfect.
Yeah, it's too late. I already imagined it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll live on in our hearts.
Now.
I just can't imagine him taking off the cowboy boots.
So,
That makes sense.
so I know the FOPs would be willing. Would the FOPs be willing to help us with this?
They'd be willing to help, but they run a pretty tight ship at the wharf. They can't spare a ton of people.
Oh man, maybe Corey can die.
What if we make a candy that Wheezy would like, and then he won't shut up about it?
Oh, chocolate flavored candy.
It would be like dark chocolate, cigar smoke, and cigar smoke.
And cigar smoke.
Hey,
Chocolate covered dip.
just curious, can Charlie make an empathy check to see what kind of flavors he thinks Wheezy would like?
Yeah, go for it.
And you did hear me say Charlie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just chocolate covered a martini all
Ooh, I got 2 10s. I got 5 10s.
So you are certain that Wheezy has no idea what a fruit is?
Deprived life.
You're not sure he knows what meat is either, so you would recommend whatever the most chemical tasting candy you have is, and then wrap it in money, because he's from Market Street.
How do is there paper money?
So pieces of 8 are metal, and credits are physical bitcoins. So you'd want pre-awakening money, which is rare, but does have paper forms.
How much do physical Bitcoin weigh?
It varies.
Fair.
Did you know
I've
that
got
the
to go to
money
bed
used to,
soon.
Did you know that the money in the setting used to actually be based off Bitcoin until
No.
until Bitcoin spiked the first time, and they were like, "Oh wait, I can't do that anymore." And watching the horror in Sam's eyes when I told him how much money we actually had was great.
The deep lore.
That actually
It's
used
true.
to be the case in fucking Escape from Tarkov. The value of physical bitcoins, which were a loot item, was directly tied to the price of Bitcoin in rubles. And then the first spike happened, and they were like, holy shit.
I wonder how many, like, total number of things had to do that. We're getting off topic. What's going on in the session?
Yeah, I'm getting off.
Are you good enough?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. We got pretty derailed this session.
Well, I have. We got a lot of things done, and I have to get up early. I have meetings from 8 a.m. to 6.
Yeah, no, totally understandable. Let's do experience real fast. Everyone gains 1. Who stayed in character the best?
Deer kick.
Yeah, I also vote Deer Kick.
Yeah.
All right, deer kick. Experience.
I'm posting. Oh man, I took too many notes this time.
I also.
Who was most useful this session?
I would say Chris, because he convinced what's his face, the policeman, that we were telling the truth about the raids and whatnot.
See, I don't want to say Chris for the express reason of we wouldn't have had to do that if he didn't mention it.
Yeah, I mean, mistakes happen. There's plenty of
Look.
times where you guys wanted to wreck.
Look, he's a typical politician. He creates problems and then solves them to look good.
Exactly.
God, I wish politicians would do the second half of that.
Oof. I mean, yeah, but oof.
Technically, he's better than a politician because he actually does solve some issues.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Turbotition.
That said,
So vote. Who
All the
was
notes
most
are
useful?
passed. All the
I
notes.
still vote for Chris.
Everyone else?
Seth.
And I'm going to be between Chris and Seth.
You have to choose one.
Sooth.
All right. Seth.
right.
Who had the best bit of the night?
Dynamite Boy. I specifically don't want to give it to Captain Desmond, but his lackey.
Come on.
You want to give a point of experience to the crew?
Yes.
All right,
I'm
we'll
100% on board with that.
make
Yeah.
sure that we put that point into the crew's powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Specifically the crew.
1 EXP for the crew. I love it.
Yeah. I love the
Um,
crew. Just the
Morse code? Does that mean
Morse
more in
code?
code?
That was such a good bit. Like, yeah, the crew.
So, final question. If everyone got a ticket from Deputy Mannequin tonight, besides the ones they actually got, what would your character's ticket have been? And then we vote on who had the funniest.
No. We're just feeding you ideas so that you can ticket them.
Yeah. I'm not answering this. This is like talking to a police officer. Everything's self-incriminating.
Oh my boy, am I being detained?
You know what? I'm gonna get my lawyer.
You know, it makes sense that you guys are allying with the Iron Legion.
So, Sam, I will answer this question if I have a promise from you that you will not turn that around and use it against
You
us.
can't do that. You need a lawyer for
Look,
that.
okay, this is being recorded. This is a verbal contract. Any ticket you guys suggest here, I will not use against you.
Okay.
Verbal
For property
contract.
destruction, I killed several people.
Before
You can't get me in trouble for killing people anymore.
Well, don't worry. The value of human life is about the same in here in the world.
Mine would be a parking ticket.
Good. Derek is a parking ticket.
Illegally
Are
parked
we-
airship.
Charlie
I
for
can't find my hammer and stand menacingly in his doorway.
wild amounts of property destruction.
John Hannibal Hancock for having like literally an invasive force. As you know, I have
You brought an invasive species in your army, guys.
No, an invasive force. They're actively patrolling the streets. They do more as a police force than an actual mannequin does.
So what you're saying is you'd be charged with violation of the Nuremberg laws?
Any of our playable characters?
Yeah, sure.
bomber existing.
I was gonna say Jose for
Is it-
knocking down a couple of skyscrapers.
Also, Jose for triple murder on the same person?
Oh, yeah. Knocking down a couple of skyscrapers and triple murder on the same person.
Triple murder on the same person's pretty good.
Like fucking deputy mannequin writing the ticket. All right, and the second victim. Oh, is
The
that
same person.
no? The other person. What do you mean they're all the same? But that doesn't even make sense. What do you mean they're alive? What do you mean they're you?
Listen. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Reginald, get the fuck out of my office.
It's just a glow stick falling over in his head. Yeah, that's right. You better fall the fuck over. I'm gonna kill you when I get you out of my head.
Reginald wasn't actually in the office. He just dropped a glow stick in there to have that conversation for him.
Look, Reginald hasn't talked to another person in 6 months. He needs this.
Sam, question. If this police force has existed the whole time, how come they've just allowed John Hannibal Hancock to have just like a military presence take over the entire...
Massive
Because
overwork.
they're not causing problems.
Look, Mannequin works 16-hour days. They get 2 days off per 3 weeks. Let them have this.
I get that he's working, Sam, but don't you think like you'd be like, there's an occupying force in
That's
the...
not the police's problem.
It's not.
That's fair.
I can't think of a funny ticket because Avery getting a ticket for trespassing is really funny. And all of my jokes are being ruined because I'm imagining Hummingbird getting a ticket for jaywalking.
Wait, who got a ticket for trespassing?
Avery did because of all the teleportation. I can't think of anything funnier than one for Jay's character.
I'm gonna be frank, I was astonished I didn't get a ticket for property destruction.
I thought you were Seth.
Yours says subtle on it.
True, it does. That actually makes sense. Okay.
All right, who do you guys think had the funniest ticket? My vote's for fucking Jose triple homicide.
Yeah, having triple homicide on the same person is pretty funny.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, I have to agree with triple homicide on the same person.
3 homicide, 1 victim.
I feel obligated to,
We also-
since I said it.
After we finish dealing with the Iron Legion and the Hive, we gotta fix this whole thing with the mayor. We cannot have just one police officer coming around and giving everyone tickets.
Yeah, we didn't ask,
doing
but is there
not
even
actual
a
work.
mayor at the moment? Or
No,
is the
he's
more
dead.
efficiently without a figurehead?
They're just been limping along because they've been in there's been too many crisis events, so they've just been putting off the election because it's been too chaotic.
Okay, so we're gonna have Mr. President win that, right?
I have a very important
I would
question
hope so.
for Tom.
Go on.
Is your detect Sassenach always on?
It is not actually currently represented by points. It's just a joke I make because chivalry doesn't much care for British people due to some stuff in his backstory.
I would like
He's
you
Scottish.
to ask me. I would like you to attempt to determine if Captain Dumond is a Sassenach next game as well.
All right.
I should just
bit.
spend the 20 points just buying all the way up to 10 normal dice in in charisma, so I have 30 charisma.
Isn't over 5 still considered hypercharm?
It kind of is, but there are degrees to which hypercharm is considered a violent act.
How does hypercharm and hyperstats interlink? Is it just if you spend more than 5 dice, if you have more than 5 dice in it, it is...
It's kind of like, okay, when you roll your body dice, right? And you have, your dice pool is like 10 hard dice and 10 normal dice. 10 hard dice will obliterate a man. But if you want to scale it down, you can do maneuvers to scale down your damage or reduce the number of dice you roll manually so that your potential successes are going to be limited.
Hey, did we miss a question? I feel like we did one too few. Sorry,
Did it
that was
for?
We did.
Are
Who
we supposed to
stayed?
do an extra question?
Yeah, we did.
Sam, I
We-
messaged you that just because you've forgotten every week so far, and then I always panic a little bit, and then I
Yes,
remember
yeah,
I
okay.
have controlled effect.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you.
We
I
had
do
most useful,
forget.
best bit, funniest, or most useful, best bit in character, and the ticket.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I've been trying to be clever with the last questions because I feel like that's
I like it.
I do really appreciate that.
Yeah, I
honestly.
think that's great.
all
My
right.
favorite questions were back in the crossover when you just did random stuff for every question.
Sam, did I fulfill my flaw?
You did.
Okay.
This was a good episode. The first episodes are usually pretty exposition heavy, so we are off to a good start.
All right. Okay.
Sam, I'll have to ask you something tomorrow, but I'm gonna go to bed.
All right.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, Chris.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
All right. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right. Do we want to hop back over to the shadow room?
Might as well.
Yep.
Later.